welcome all of you, and thank you for watching our show this evening. It's time yet again for another installment of, you guessed it, the Venus and Mars Show. We're coming at you live every Thursday night, and that is at 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's 8 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Get Real Global TV and Get Real Global Radio, KGRL. You can watch this live on our YouTube channel, which most of you probably are right now. That's going to be Get Real Global TV. We're also Get Real Global TV on Twitch and TikTok. And you can check out our Linktree page to see all of our social media and website links. Just type in at Jennifer DeVoe Muse. You can check out our radio station, Get Real Global Radio, KGRL, on Spreaker. And we're also syndicated on iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube Music, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Audible, Apple Podcasts, as well as Pandora and SiriusXM. Pretty much also everywhere else you can watch or listen to podcasts. We are distributed by Sony Music Entertainment, Sony Music Publishing, The Orchard by Sony, and 50/50 Global Music Incorporated. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Jennifer DeVoe Muse. Hello to everyone watching or listening to this broadcast around the world. And we're going to say hello to our wonderful co-host, and that is going to be China Myers.
Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing today? I'm so excited about this next show. So excited.
I know. I'm very excited myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome again to everyone out there to the Venus and Mars Show podcast. And so can you tell everybody a little bit about this evening's subject, Miss China Myers?
Well, first of all, I want to ask, was that exciting enough? Because you were saying I wasn't exciting before.
More exciting than I sounded, I think, in my opinion. I'm trying not to go as high volume as I do on my other shows.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want to scare anybody away. Basically, tonight's show is about how we should be treating each other in a relationship. Okay, so basically that just means what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, what's a no-no, what's a yes, what do we prefer, what do women prefer, and we're going to delve into that because that could mean a whole bunch of things, and that could mean something different for each culture, or it could mean something different for women, it could mean something different for men. So we're going to delve into that. And of course, we're not men, as you can tell, but we can give our perspective and what we think might be the deal, you know?
So from our side of the fence, I guess, and what we've observed over the years, either through having a son or a nephew or friends or boyfriends or husbands or brothers or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
We've seen kind of like the other side of things, like, how men sometimes can treat women or how women can treat men also, because we've seen that with female friends.
Yeah, for sure.
And or relatives, you know what I mean? So kind of, it's not just like what we have ourselves done or experienced from how we've been treated by someone else, but also like observing other people throughout the years. I don't know. What would you say like are some no-nos in your opinion?
Okay, first of all, let me just put this out here. If you're messed up, your idea might be different than mine. I'm not saying I'm not messed up, but what I'm saying is if you got psychological problems.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, everything's going to look a little different when you have mental illness. Yeah. I mean, especially if you have something really like bad, like, bipolar or schizophrenia or,
how you were raised. You might think it's okay. that your father, and I was just listening to a comedian. He said that his dad used to like scream and yell and rant and rave, and his mother was okay with it, and she just used to say, "Oh, he's in a mood today." Okay,
Oh,
that
okay.
that's the way it sounded like his dad behaved
Hmm.
all the time.
Okay.
Well, cuckoo, in my opinion,
Hmm.
but
Well, like
maybe,
anger issues,
yeah,
maybe. Or
yeah,
yeah.
maybe the era, back in the day with, Aunt B and Opie, maybe, hey, you know what I'm saying? Oh,
Well, until like the last 20 years,
yeah,
people really didn't get help for mental health issues
yeah.
as much as they do now. I'm not saying everybody does, but it's more accepted now, or
What's more,
it's not as much of a stigmatism. It's not as much of a, like, oh my God, that's horrible because you have mental illness. Like, it's not
yeah,
like, oh, I'm going to get locked up in a padded cell because I have something going on. You just get, like, I have mental illness. I take medication for it. I've gone to counseling. I go to see a psychiatrist or a doctor. You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
what you have to do, though, when you have something like that. But I know what you're saying. Like,
What I'm
my mother used to scream and yell at us and flip out, and she was abusive physically, also verbally, mentally, a lot of the horrible stuff she said. But she also abused my dad. So these are things that I look at. So it's from both sides of the fence. It's not just men that
yeah,
abuse women.
true.
There are women who abuse men.
But
So
what I was also saying was back in the day,
it was more accepted or more normal.
well,
Normal.
talking about the way, men treated women,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was
Like we
more,
were property.
yeah,
Like we were property. We weren't allowed to vote until what, 1920.
right.
We couldn't even own land until what, 1970. We couldn't even have a credit card in our own name. It had to
Yeah,
be in our husband's name,
yeah,
and
we
we had to
just,
have permission to use it. There was
yeah,
like a lot of crazy things.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
So I get that.
you know what I'm saying? It's like that was all acceptable back then. Now today, don't get me wrong, I don't know about you, but people fight, they have different disagreements. I'm not running to the cops because we had a disagreement. You know what I'm saying?
They watching too much Jerry Springer and Maury Povich. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on. Like,
you
stop
know,
acting like that. Not everybody in the world needs to act all crazy like that. Like, come on
right.
now. Come on
And
now. Have some common sense.
not everybody in the world needs to know your business either. I'm talking about,
Very true. And a
being,
lot of people tend to go on social media and tell everything. Like, I
yeah,
ate I ate blueberry waffles this morning, and
yeah.
my boyfriend and I got into a huge fight, and all these things happened. And why do people need to know that shit?
People
Why?
don't
I
know.
mean, like, have some discretion, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
I'm
don't.
just saying, like, just have some kind of discretion. Like, don't go crazy.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, okay, you had a disagreement, you argued, you fought.
I love you too, my nephew Jonathan Arsenal. Shout out, what's up? He said, "I know you're busy with the live, but I love you. Love you too, dude. Miss you. Come fucking visit me, asshole."
Yeah, right.
Um,
You could say,
okay, there. See, now I'm mistreating my nephew. I'm just kidding. I
hey,
just called him an asshole and like
call the cops.
no, no, no. He knows I love him very much. I treasure that relationship very much. So
Well, that's another thing too. Like sometimes we could make a big deal out of nothing. Maybe
yeah,
maybe I had a bad day and I called you an a-hole. It's not the end of the world.
but it's how I say it. If
Yeah,
I'm laughing and smiling and calling you an asshole, it means I'm fucking with you.
right.
It doesn't. Now, if I say it in a serious tone, like, you fucking asshole, like if I'm saying it in a nasty, horrible way, then that's different. But that's fair. No, if I was going to call somebody a name, like if I'm angry at them, it's not going to be asshole.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not going to be asshole.
Well,
That's a nice term of endearment from me.
well,
If I call you a name, it's going to be a really bad
let
name.
My husband has a thing where it's tone. It's all about tone. You know,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
I probably could call him an a-hole if the tone was good.
Yeah, if you're just joking, if you're just laughing, whatever,
Well,
like you're
see,
like asshole.
th- there's another point which we were talking about yesterday. Men and women, it all depends on how people say something to men, right?
He said he is an asshole. There you
W-
go. He admitted
Which
it.
see, men, like, I don't know about your husband, but my husband, and I can't speak for all men because I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist and I'm not a man, but I
Right.
know
Yeah.
from my husband, it's all about tone. Like, he gets
Mhm.
upset if the tone is too loud and, I'm, being aggressive because I'm ghetto. But
That's me 95% of the time. I'm just kidding.
where I don't care about that. What I care about is blaming
Yeah.
and accusing and
Mhm.
not being grateful. Those are the things I care about. You know,
Okay, got you.
you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're telling me, "Oh, you always leave this on the floor." Wait a minute. I might leave it on the floor, but you leave some stuff on the floor too. Why are you only talking about me? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't care about the sound of a voice. I care about those things I just mentioned. So, um, the way you treat people, um, you got to stop and think. You know what I'm saying? Before
Right.
you treat people bad. And
Yeah.
when I get mad, I tend to, yell and scream and stuff. And I think a psychiatrist would say that's not right.
Well, it's also probably how you were raised. Like that's how I was raised.
It's a
My mother had mental illness and wasn't getting help for it, and she I don't know, that's just how she was. I don't know where she learned it from, but I don't know if it's just because she had mental illness, like she was bipolar and PTSD from being abused, but in life and other horrible things that we're gonna not mention
yeah,
in this
yeah,
conversation. I just I mean it's no excuse. Um, I've been through really horrible, evil things, and as have you. But we choose not to treat people badly.
right, right, true.
Like I don't. If I'm having a bad day, I don't take it out on JJ. It's not
No,
his fault that I'm having a bad day. It has nothing to do with him. So it's
no,
not worth me. It's not worth me. Treating him like crap.
because you had a bad day. Yeah, I know. But you have people do that. Do that. If they're having a bad
Right.
time in the house and they'll be
Yeah. No. Totally.
rude and ignorant, you know, and then you find out later, oh, he had a bad day. Well, why did he take it out on me? You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
people do that, and that's not right. The yelling and screaming, maybe that's not right either. But I'm trying to be better, you know. But it's a thing of being defensive, you know. Um, I've had to defend myself my whole life, so I know how to defend myself. I will defend myself. And
Right.
the the point is, though, did I have to? Did I have to defend myself? I'm so used to it, it's a habit now, you know,
Right.
of having to defend myself. So, in
Can
that,
you Can you hold on 1 second? Keep talking to our viewers. I
yeah,
have to go get my grandson. One moment. I'm going to put myself on mute.
okay. So, basically, you know, I'd like to say we have to start treating each other better, especially if you want relationships to last. You're going to have to work at it. You're going to have to, everybody might not agree with this, but you're going to have to put God in the middle. You're going to have to, you know, try to do better every day. You're going to have to, be more considerate. Now, these are all things if you want your relationship to last, that's totally up to you. But relationships can be hard and they could be easy. So to make them easy, you just try to do better every day, That's my goal. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. Do I make a lot of big, uh, you know, um, progress? I try. I try to make progress every day, actually. But nothing is easy. So basically, you just have to do your best every day uh, because you want to be a better person. You don't want to be, somebody who can't get along with people. So you want to try to do better. Um, and if you weren't taught these things, you kind of have to teach yourself. Um, especially, if you're in a relationship, that means you care about the person, you love the person. So I don't know about anybody else, but I'm willing to do, the work and try to look out for things when I'm not, you know, um, making good choices, you know. But every day I do try to do better. And I'm not perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. But you can look in the mirror and see where you could make some better choices, because relationships, as I said, aren't easy. There's no manual, you know. I remember I read a book, the doctor's name was Dr. Spock. He had all, great ideas how to, raise children and the do's and the don'ts and all that. And it was a really good book. But then I seen it one day, he didn't have any children. How the hell are you going to write a book and you don't even have any children? How could you tell people who have children what to do with children and you don't have any? I don't know. Because even if you went to school for a million years on how to raise children, um, the real telltale story is when you have them and you realize that each child is different. You can't do what you did with your first child as you did with your second child. And, you know, each child is different. You have to, deal with that child accordingly. So my point is, a lot of times books aren't going to help you. Sometimes they will, depending on the book. If you want to read about relationships, there's a lot of good books out there, but basically, every mate is different. So you're going to have to kind of wing it.
He is not happy.
Your grandson?
It's friggin' freezing here. I'm sure it's cold in Pennsylvania too.
Oh, you
He's
want to
not
cut
happy.
the short?
I don't want to, is the whole point.
Well, it's okay. We'll just have a
Anyway,
short show. I really rambling while
he's
Jennifer.
not happy. I'm sorry. No, his father dropped him off, and I'm like getting irritated because it's freezing, and you're standing here in the doorway with the door wide open, and it's freaking freezing.
Yeah,
And the baby needs to get inside.
yeah.
Like, we
Well,
ain't got time for this. Huh?
he sounds adorable.
He is if he was not upset. And he's like, "Oh, here, can you have JJ change his diaper?" And I'm like, "You didn't change his diaper before you brought him to me? Like, what the fuck is your problem?" Anywho, Your
Yeah.
grandson should be more important than your podcast. I said China's in there rambling off to, to random air, whatever people, something. I don't know. I'm just like, are you shitting me? I'm like, I need to get back to my show. So I'm like, so China's not just sitting there talking to dead air. No, I was kidding.
I was rambling. No,
Anywho,
let's resume next week, and I'm gonna say that.
Come here, say hi to China. Yes, you do want Bammy. Don't be upset. No, don't be upset. Bammy loves you. See, this is how you should treat somebody. Stop! Oh my god! Here. Say hello.
Oh my goodness. Well, listen.
Okay, child.
Send you my video, what I can say for the beginning, and you tell me if it's okay or not. And you can add it to yours, because I know you got a whole bunch of stuff you want to say about the
yes, most definitely.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. I'm so sorry for a short broadcast. Family chaos ensues. Next week we'll be back to normal.
Yeah,
I will not have this. His mother needs to hurry up and come home from the hospital because she just gave birth, and that's why I have him. It was an unexpected last minute thing. Gotta love that.
It's called life.
I know, but I'm tired. I'm about to be 52 in 2 weeks. I don't want
say that too loud.
I already raised my children, damn it.
Yeah, well, but when you say that you're tired and you can't take anymore, God gives you more. So be careful.
Oh no, we're good. No, I'm never tired. We're good.
Yeah. Good one.
Okay.
I like it.
So in ending for right now, we're gonna pick the subject back up next week.
Yes.
And again, that's how we're supposed to treat each other in relationships. Yes. And so all of you out there, your homework assignment is to message us and let us know ways in which you feel that men or women should behave towards one another.
Yep.
In any kind of relationship, whether it's a friendship, a family member, a significant other, anything like that. Just write into us, and you can send the email to the Venus and Mars Show podcast at gmail.com. And we'd love to hear from you.
Too. Let's include that in. Let's include adult children in that too. Yeah. How they treat their parents.
Yeah. Anyway, like the one that was just at my door. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? All right. So, in a few minutes,
love y'all.
I'm gonna text you that voice thing. So
yes.
I love you.
Okay, love you too.
And you guys, everybody have a great night. Thank you for joining us. Hope
have a good week and stay good to each other.
Yes. Signing out.